Hi guys, welcome to Let's Motor. Today we're shooting a vlog which is our first vlog of a vehicle detail. The FJ40 is back again after a few fun things happened to it. After a detail was completely done and we wax coated the car, she went off-roading. Oh shit. Oh my god. What the hell did he do? And yeah, so that's what happened. And because she sat in the water for a really long time, there are mineral deposits almost everywhere. And by everywhere, I genuinely mean everywhere. The fenders are in a really bad state. So we're going to be showing you our first step before we do a detail. The first step obviously is washing. It's a decontamination wash. But after that, once the car comes in the detailing bay, what is it that we actually and what is it that we exactly do? Now, you would wonder why using a clay bar or a clay towel is any good. That's because it does a multitude of things. It protects the paint from marring when we are polishing it, as it is lifting all the contaminants off the paint. It helps us not, so basically a polisher spins around, right? Be it a DA, be it an orbital, be it a rotary. If they pick up any dirt or any small minute fine dirt, that will be in the pad. So when the pad is making contact with your paint, there's a chance that it might scratch your paint as well. It also helps lift up iron contaminants, which is why it's extremely important to always clay an entire car before detailing it. So now we're going to show you how to exactly use the clay bar. So there's actually two things that we'll be using today, and I can show you how to use both. One is the clay bar and the other one is the clay towel. The clay bar has its pros and cons, so does the clay towel. The clay bar's biggest con, however, is if you drop it once, that's it, it's done. The clay towel does not have the same issue because the clay towel can be washed later on. You can spray water onto the surface of the clay towel and all the contaminants will be picked up and moved off. Which is another disadvantage of the clay towel, is it is not as sticky as the clay bar is. It does pick up a lot of contaminants, but it doesn't do a 101% job like the clay bar does. So make sure whenever you're giving a car for a detail to any detailer that they clay bar it before the pad or the machine touches the paint. Okay, so now let's move on to the process of using the clay bar and the clay towel, and I will walk you through it. So our first step is spraying the panel with soap water. After that, you can use your clay towel. If you use plain water, it will work, but soap just, makes it a little smoother for it to run over the paint. It makes it a slidier surface, as I would like to call it, and the clay bar has less risk of sticking to the paint. The same goes for the clay towel. You pick up your clay towel and you also spray the water and soap mixture onto the clay towel to help enhance the slidey surface. Once that's done, you put the clay towel onto the paint and scrub it up and down using medium to light pressure so that it can pick up all of the contaminants off the paint. The faster you go, the slower you go, doesn't really matter, but as long as you scrub it down a good 6 to 7 times to make sure it's picked up all of the contaminants. Once you're done with that, after you run your fingers over the paint and your paint surface is absolutely smooth, then you'll know your clay pad or the clay towel did its work and picked up all the contaminants from the paint. When it sat in the water for almost 6.5, 7 hours in our struggle to get it out of the water. So we first called a JCB, a digger, to help pull us out, and that did not end well. We almost got whiplashed by the ropes that kept breaking. Finally, a few of our friends came to save us, which is why such bad spotting has happened and absolutely ruined the absolutely fantastic detail that we did on this car. So now we restart the entire process to bring it back to show finish. We have to finish it by tomorrow night because this coming Sunday we're going off-roading again. Let's hope this time we don't decide to go for a quick swim.